This is how to cut a piece of plasterboard for a gap like this. First thing I'm going to do is find out where a right angle is. So if we run this square down the bottom, we can see here that's a nice right angle. So I'm going to use that, and that's going to form the basis of where all the measurements are going to come from. If I was to do it the other side, that isn't quite square. So what I'm going to do is from this corner measure along, and I'm going to make it ever so slightly longer than it needs to be there along this bottom, and I'll do the same at the top. So what that means is that I can then offer it up and make an exact cut using the existing bits of plasterboard as a template. So I've got my little offcut here that I'm going to use just to write on the dimensions. So this is the piece that I'm going to cut. I'm going to mark on the right angle in the bottom left hand corner there. I'm also going to put up, left and right, so there's no mistakes as to which way round it's supposed to go. I'm then going to just take the measurements, draw them on here, go down to the bottom, find a piece that's big enough, and then cut it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to ensure that the piece of plasterboard that I'm cutting has that square edge. This was an off cut from both sides, just the middle. I like to use up as many pieces as I can, but I first need to make sure that that bottom left hand corner is completely square. So the next thing I'm going to do is just simply lay on the little drawing that I made with all the measurements and just start drawing on. I'm going to put my left, right, like that, just like here. And then I'm going to start marking out from this corner, from my square corner, all the measurements that I've written down here. So I've cut my piece, and as you can see, this is the right angle we talked about earlier on. I'm just going to offer it up, slide it in. It's a lovely fit, that end, nice along the top. And now, because I've made it ever so slightly longer than is needed, I can get a really accurate cut now. I'm just going to use my blade just to mark on there and there. Now I just get my square. It's just a tiny sliver. You could use the rasp just to do this, but I find you need, at the very least, just to break the paper on the top so you get a nice clean edge. Like that. Cut's done. Now it's a case of just getting the rasp. Damage the paper on the front. Edge, and then it's always handy having the left and right bit. Offer that up, nice snug fit, just a little bit just off this edge. Again, the rasp, so good for this. And there we have it. Nice snug fit all the way around, ready to be screwed in.
If you've enjoyed this video, please like it and make sure you subscribe to the channel to get notified when the next video goes live. Thanks for watching.